See, today we are starting with topics in demand and supply. It is demand actually. The desire. Sorry, I'm asking you what is demand? The desire to acquire a commodity, but the only desire won't be sufficient, correct? The desire to acquire a commodity backed up by the capacity to pay for that commodity is called demand. What is supply? Whatever is available and can be readily sent to the market is called supply. There are two laws for these two things. Okay, once we understand the law, we can go for elasticity. Next topic is elasticity. The law of demand. When price increases, demand decreases. When price decreases, demand increases. Okay, they have a negative relationship between them. So when you make a graph, you put quantity demand here, you put price here. You put quantity demand 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 units, and then you put price 2 rupees, 4 rupees, 6 rupees, 8 rupees. Let's say the price is right now 2 rupees. For 2 rupees, you'll be buying one commodity, 1 unit, correct? 1 unit or 4 units, Abhijit? If the price is 2 rupees, you'll be buying 1 unit or 4 units?
So how much money do you have? I mean, the unit price is 2.
I'm having 2 rupees. Okay. Like, see, something I want to buy. I'm going to the market. So 2 rupees is the price, let's say, okay, for 1 kg. Immediately what has happened is, like, let's say the price is 8 rupees for 1 kg. So here you'll be buying, if let's say the price is 8 rupees for 1 kg. The price currently is 8 rupees for 1 kg. If the price is decreasing to 2 rupees, you'll be buying 1 kg or more units?
4 units.
Of course, you'll be going for 4 units, correct? 4 kgs, like that. So I'll just put this here. Okay. So when the price is like 2, I'll buy 4. When the price is 4, I'll buy 3. When the price is 6, I'll buy 2. When the price is 1, I'll buy. When the price is 8, I'll buy 1 unit or 1 kg. So you can see it's left to right downward sloping, correct?
Okay.
It goes in this way. So this is for demand. What about the supply then? Vice versa. When price increases, supply increases. When price decreases, supply decreases. They have a positive relationship. Okay. When the price increases, supply increases. So for 2 rupees, the price is 2 rupees. You will be willing to supply 4 units or just 1 unit?
4 units.
Sorry, 4 units. How?
Because at a higher price, you will supply more, no?
No, I'm saying 2 rupees right now. With 2 rupees, you'll be supplying 1 unit or 4 units?
Can you just repeat the question if you don't know?
See, the price is 2 rupees right now for 1 kg and 8 rupees for 1 kg. Let's say the price has increased from 2 to 8. You will be supplying how much?
I'll be supplying more when it.
Yeah.
When
So you will be willing to supply more now. When the price is increasing, the supply also increases. Okay. So for 2 rupees 1 unit, for 4 rupees 2 units, for 6 rupees 3 units. Like if you are adding 2 rupees, extra 1 unit is increasing. Now for 8 rupees, you will be willing to supply 4 units or 4 kg. Correct? Because the price is increased, the supply would increase automatically. Understood? Now, this is upward sloping, this is downward sloping. Next comes the concept of elasticity. Now tell me, what is elasticity, Abhijit?
it's how sensitive the prices are.
How?
Sensitive the prices are.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear.
Sensitive. How sensitive the prices are.
My God, seriously, there's no, like, really, I can't hear. So I'm just putting this. Responsiveness of demand with respect to change in price. That means how your demand responds to changes in price. Okay. If the price changes by just $1, how many units you will be buying more, or how many units will be buying less? So like if the price increases, of course you'll be buying less units now. So how many less units will be buying? One, like with $1 increase in price, one less unit or 2 less units or 5 less units or whatever. We have to see that. We have to see how the demand is responding to change in price. So is it equal change? Is it more than the change in demand is more than the change in price? The change in demand is less than the change in price. This all we are going to see here. Okay. So I'll put a formula for elasticity of demand here. Elasticity demand is equal to percentage change in quantity demand by percentage change in price. Okay. So we will see some scenario. I'll ask you a question. Please answer. See, $2.4. Okay. Milk today costs $2.4. Let's say the milk has gone to $240. What will you do? How will it impact your demand? Can you answer?
See, demand will decrease. That's
Sorry.
For sure. Demand will decrease. That's for sure.
Demand will decrease. That's for sure. Excellent. But it will decrease with a very less intensity. Correct? That means even though the price has gone very high, I can't do anything because I still need it. I still need it. Okay. So since I still need it, my quantity would not decrease that drastically. Okay, it does not make that change to my quantity demand. Okay, so this kind of scenario, okay, so is called inelastic demand. Okay, so why this may be called as inelastic demand? So quantity demand is insensitive to change in price. It's not like immediately there's a reaction from people, correct? Because they're helpless, they can't do anything. If the wheat flour prices go up, still we can't reduce our consumption of wheat flour. Why? Because bread is a staple food. Am I right? Indian bread or chapati is a staple food for us. So what is inelastic demand? Quantity demand is insensitive to a change in price. Okay. So we have another measure also to see these kind of things. I'll give that as well to you. So Actually, if price increases, quantity demand will fall a little. If price decreases, quantity demand increases a little. So only little changes is what you're going to see. Okay, I'm writing a statement. If price increases, statement A, quantity demand will fall, but the fall is a little bit. Okay. If price decreases, quantity demand will increase, but a little. Now, so like I have to tell, in other words, to still buy this. If I have to make a graph, I'll just make a small graph here. Let's say the price is here P and here the price is PT. Okay. And the quantity demand was Q and the quantity demand is. So what happened for this quantity? The price was this. The price has increased by 20%, let's say. How much? 20%. There's a 20% jump in the price. But the quantity demand has only decreased to 5%. This QT, just 5% decrease. So with the increment of 20%, the decrease is still 5%. Very little, correct? Just make a note of this and you can see the curve being in this way. Steeper, am I right? You want to note it down or shall I move forward?
Oh, you can move forward.
Sorry?
You can move forward.
Hope you write well in the MCQs. Now, what are the, can you give me, see, after listening to the concept, can you give me some examples of inelastic demand for which things the demand would be inelastic? Some examples. Yeah, Abhijit? Sorry? Medicines. Yes, so medicines are one of the examples. Gasoline or petrol, diesel, diapers. In US and UK, toilet papers. Okay, medical care or all these things are the examples. Now let's go for the elastic demand. So you really understood, like in this case, the percentage change in price was higher and the quantity demand change was very low. Okay. So there are some important characteristics of something typical of inelastic demand. I'll write it here. So the general characteristics can be there are very few substitutes actually. So there is no substitute for milk, correct? Milk has no substitute. Necessities. Small portion of income, let's say. See, immediately we want them. We cannot like take them later or can't wait for them. And one more thing I have to tell you, the elasticity coefficient is less than 1. That means elasticity coefficient is percentage change in quantity demand by percentage change in price. So whatever you will be getting, that will be less than 1. That is the characteristic of elasticity. That means the change in price leads to less than change. See, the change in price here was 20%. Okay. Okay. But the change in quantity demand was just 5%. Okay. So if in that case also, if you want to see, like I can tell you, so if I just take 5%, that is this total thing, and 20%, if I just remove percentage, I just get 0.25, that is less than 1. Correct? What does it show? It shows with $1 change in price. That means if the price increases by just like the price increases by $1, very high change in price, but the quantity demand just decreases by some 25, or if I say just not $1, let's say, yeah, if the price increases by $1, the quantity demand decreases by 25%. Correct? That's what. For the next one, elastic. See, this is someone, Coca-Cola. The price is $1 right now. So this guy wants to take 10 bottles with him. He wants to take this and run away because it's a good price according to him. That means if the price is $1 for Coca-Cola, he is buying 10 Coca-Colas. Okay. But what happens? The price for Coca-Cola goes to $5. What will happen? Forget it. He'll tell, forget it. I don't want it. Okay. So he doesn't want to buy Coca-Cola for $5. He says it's of no use for me and I don't, it's okay if I don't drink. That is the case with entire population of the world except Mexicans. Fine. Mexicans are crazy people about Coca-Cola. They are the guzzlers, world's biggest guzzler, like I can say the largest guzzlers amongst the population, of the biggest guzzlers of population if I take an individual in the world. Okay. Per capita consumption of Coca-Cola is too much for them. Now, we can take as necessity for that now. So we can't rule out the exceptional cases. So elastic, as the name suggests, very sensitive. So quantity demand is sensitive to change in price. See, we have not discussed about any extremes right now. We have just discussed about elastic and inelastic. I did not go for like types of elasticities, which we will be discussing within some time. Okay. Yeah, so my version here would go with quantity demand is sensitive change in price. So that's what, if the price increases, quantity demand will fall a lot. If the price decreases, quantity demand will increase a lot. So I can say, in other words, the amount or the quantity demand or the amount of this thing what people want to buy is sensitive to price. Okay. So can you give me some examples of elastic demand? And one of the things, an elastic demand curve is flat, not steep. Okay, I'll give a diagram to you. Yeah. So let's say this is the price and this is the quantity demand. See, for some price PT, P, the quantity demand was Q. Okay. Just a second, Abhijit. Okay. So for this price, the quantity demand was Q. Now, let's say the price has just increased by 10%. But the quantity demand has decreased by 15%. Okay. QT. So 10% increase in price is leading to 15% decrease in quantity demand. You can understand now the curve would be more flatter. Okay, not steeper. Now, so Abhijit, can you give some examples of this? But your voice is like, I'm not able to get.
Discretionary spending is an example.
Sorry?
Discretionary spending on cars or something like that.
Yeah, we can take those things, correct. I'll just give some example like pizza, except Italians, huh? Doesn't go, I'm just generalizing, real estate. Can just give cars, etc. Okay. So we'll write some characteristics of this. Many substitutes. I can say luxuries, large portion of income is required to buy, plenty of time to decide we have, elasticity coefficient is greater than 1. Okay. These are the characteristics. So I'll give you some example. Just find out the elasticity, Abhijit. Will you do this?
Which question?
Just a second. Just find out. Decide the price elasticity of demand for a slice of pizza. You have to do the calculation and tell at $2 by examining a price decrease from $2. No, don't directly tell from example. Okay. To $1.50 per slice. In this case, the demand of pizza would increase from 7 million slices to 10 million slices. Okay. You can use, now you tell me what kind of price elasticity of demand this is. Come on. Calculate and tell me the figures. Okay, I'm waiting. Please do this. Sorry?
1.7.
You got positive value or negative value?
Positive value.
Huh?
Positive value.
You should get negative value, it seems. So change in quantity demand was 10 million minus 7 million by 7 million, correct? Divided by change in prices, 1.50 is current price minus 2 divided by 2. So you'll get 0.43 divided by minus 0.25. You'll get negative value, but you have to ignore the negative sign. That's what many economists would do. Okay. And this shows the elasticity of demand is more than 1. So the change in price has led to more change in demand, correct? So what kind of elasticity this is, Abhijit? It is elastic or inelastic? Elastic, correct?
Elastic. It's positive elasticity. It's increasing.
Sorry?
It's elastic.
Of course, like we have not gone in the details of like what kind of elastic, correct, till now. So we have to go into that. We will do that right now. Okay, now when it comes to elastic, we will see the types of elasticities of demand, like what seeing the extremities. Fine. I'll just write a note here. So if the price elasticity of demand is 0, it is perfectly inelastic. Okay, that means with a change in price, the change in demand is almost negative or insensitive. We already have seen that inelastic, correct? But here it is zero change. That means the price has changed, but the quantity demand has not even moved a little bit. That means if the price will increase very high or price will decrease very low, it doesn't matter for like demand to be high or low. Why? Because when it comes to necessities, we can't like when the wheat flour prices would increase to whatever level, we have to still buy, correct?
Yes.
Less than 1. So the price increases, the demand like decreases, but the decrease is somewhat extreme. Am I right? Hello?
Oh, yes.
Here no change, but here it will be somewhat more decrease in demand. It's unitary. That means the change in demand is a change in price is equal to change in demand. That means if the demand changes by 10%, price will also change by 10%. Like if the price, let's say, price increases by 10%, demand will also decrease by 10%. That's what we can say. Here, price increases by 20%, demand is decreasing by 0%. It's still the same. Price increasing by 20%, demand decreases by more or less. What we saw there in case of inelastic.
I mean, what exactly? I mean, I do not know how to answer your question.
Yeah, sorry.
Could you just rephrase the question again?
Yeah, no, we have just seen that example. Now, when the price was increasing by 20%, demand was decreasing by just 5%, correct? So a higher increase in price was leading a lower decrease in demand. But vice versa will be the case of elastic demand, correct? Yeah, it is inelastic, no? It is inelastic. That's the reason why this is the case. So this is perfectly inelastic. This is just inelastic. Okay, here the price increased by 20%, demand decreased by nothing. Price increased by 20%, demand decreased by just 5%. Price increased by 20%, demand decreased by 20%. Price elasticity of demand more than 1. It will be elastic. So what example we took there? In case of Coca-Cola, when the price increased by 10%, the demand decreased by 15%, correct? So like if I take 20% here, I have to take 30% here. Very high decrease. It can be. And last one is price elasticity of demand. Like if I have to say is equal to 0 perfectly, we have to say infinite. So can I say perfectly elastic?
Yes.
That means 20% increase in price may lead to infinite change in demand. Okay. So these are all the elasticities of demand. Have a look through the concepts now. Almost everything has been covered in this elasticity concept. So we have to say elastic and inelastic. This is inelastic. the elasticity is 0 here. That means whatever the price may change, the demand is constant. That means it won't change, it won't shift. That means it won't change at all. So 0 elasticity. If the price increases, the demand will decrease. Okay. So like in this case, the price may increase by some percent, but the demand may decrease infinitely. That means a very big change in demand. So it is like this. Okay, horizontal curve. So here the problem, here the demand is constant, here the price is constant. For a price of $100 even, you are ready to buy 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit. Am I right?
Yes.
That's what. That means the price has gone up from $50 to $100. Then even when the price increases, demand decreases. Correct. So the change is very high actually. That means you are ready to buy whatever the quantity for any increase in price. Here the price was increasing, the quantity demand was not at all moving. It was stable. Fine. This is also done right now. So what is income elasticity of demand, Abhijit? So let us now discuss about these two elasticities as well. See, income elasticity of demand is nothing but how the demand responds to changes in income levels. Okay. So very simple. Let's say there's a, like, when the income increases, the demand should what? Decrease or increase?
Increase.
Yes.
Increase.
When the income increases, it's a normal thing. So goods for which is a term normal goods, that leads to decrease in quantity demand. There can be some particular scenario. See what happens if someone is getting an income of 100,000 rupees, and he goes with his kid to a grocery shop, and there the kid demands for a chips packet, so he buys one chips packet for that kid. Okay, but when his income goes to 100,000 rupees, he can buy 10 chips packets. Correct or wrong? The demand has increased, na? Automatically. And what would happen is, for 10,000 rupees, let's say the same example, he may buy a local made chips, but he may buy Lays. So that is also a thing, na? The quality, like inferior goods, you'll be buying less for higher income. That can also be a case. What is cross elasticity of demand? So, the percentage change in quantity demand of a good to the percentage change in price of related good. Okay. So, what happens when an increase in the price of a related good increases, demand for a good, the two goods are substituted. So what happens, let's say, if bread A and bread B are two brands of bread, considered good substitutes by many consumers, an increase in the price of one will lead the customers to purchase more of the other. Correct. If the tea price will increase, coffee would be bought more. Am I right? These are two perfect substitutes. Correct or wrong?
Yes.
Percentage change, the percentage change in price of one or the increase in price of one will drive the demand of another. That is cross elasticity of demand. So here I have given some equations, Abhijit. So percentage change in quantity demand by percentage change in price, and like this is the change. This is the base quantity, change in price, change in quantity, change and the base quantity, change in price, base price. So change by this into whole divided by change in price by this. We'll go in this way, change in quantity by quantity into P naught by change in price. So we can put it in this way, P naught by Q naught, base price and base quantity into change in quantity and change in price. So this is what they have made. Demand is nothing but A plus B into price. This is nothing but a linear demand function. Okay. So the term change in quantity by change in price is the slope. You know, when we make a demand curve, we write quantity demand here and we write price here. So when the price increases, so change in x-axis, okay, which lead a change in y-axis, the demand decreases. So slope formula is what? Change in y-axis by change in x-axis. Okay, so change in quantity demand with this divided by change in price. Okay, that's what. And y is equal to a plus bx. You always know a is something which is the y-intercept. That means the line will cut like this, not demand curve. Okay, and b is nothing but the slope, which we got it in this way. And x is the dependent variable. That is what? Sorry, x is the independent variable. What is the independent variable here? Price. And what is the dependent variable, Abhijit? Demand, correct? Hello.
Oh, yes.
Done. Okay. So like that, they have framed some equations. And so calculating price elasticity of demand, a demand function for gasoline is as follows. The demand for gasoline is this. They have given the demand equation. Calculate the price elasticity of demand. Calculate the price elasticity of gasoline price of $3 per gallon. So what will you do, Abhijit, for this? We can calculate the quantity demand at the price of $3 per gallon as 1,38,500 minus. We can put the price of the gasoline here. Am I right? We can substitute that. So what is the demand you are getting? 1,01,000. With this, can you find out the like this one, elasticity of demand? Yes.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
So you can directly put in the equation quantity, change in quantity by change in price. So change in price is what? 1,01,000. Fine. That we have got. No. Yeah, yes. And what was this 12,005? So this entire thing, they have made an equation here. We can directly take that. Change in quantity demand by change in price, base price by base quantity. So what was this 12,500 previously? Demand. So this is like constant 1,38,500, and this was the change in quantity demand by change in price. So can I take this as slope? Yes.
Yes.
And y is equal to a plus b x. Okay. And what is this, like 3 by 1,01,000? If this is the case, then that is acha, base price by base quantity. So this is the price right now, correct? And what was the quantity? We found out the quantity demand is 1,01,000. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Just put it there. You get the elasticity of demand. Okay. And it is less than 1. It is inelastic. So we can continue this tomorrow, Abhijit, from here.
Right.
So tomorrow's class will be from here, calculating income elasticity and cost elasticity. Okay. So how many pages are there? This we will wind up demand and supply. Demand and supply topic is in Abhijit. So no need to do this. We have some of the points we need to discuss. That's it. Exceptions to demand and law of demand and supply. Yeah, fine. Then, like in the next class, we can try to close this chapter. Okay. That is